And it's allowed me to, God's allowed me to pray with, and to usher into the kingdom 12 of the children that are in this church.
Isn't that awesome?
And
isn't that awesome? Give Jesus praise for that.
And I truly believe that it's not me, that God is using me to expand the kingdom. And I believe that there are great things in store for this church.
Awesome. Has serving stretched you?
Yeah.
It's stretched you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. We've had many conversations about the stretching process. Sometimes you have to step outside of your comfort zone and allow God to move you into another realm. And it has grown my faith, and it has definitely, it's brought a lot of people in.
Awesome. Now, as you serve, as no more questions, you were serving, and you stepped out of your comfort zone. You allowed God to stretch you, and you stepped into some areas that were maybe areas that you were uncomfortable with. But as you did that, you found that God gave you the strength to do whatever you tried to accomplish for Him, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We all have those areas of comfort where we don't really want to, get outside of it, because it makes life so much easier for us. I think when we don't want to step outside of those things. One of those things would be, you would never have gotten me up in front of people talking, ever. Until about 2 years ago, and then it seems like, since I've come back to this church, God has put me in the position to talk to people and to be in front of people. And God is leading me into areas like that. And so I'm thankful for stepping outside those.
Awesome. Praise God. Will you let Sean know we love her here? Serve. There are a lot of ways to serve. Dick Cast serves his church in a very unique way. He works on a lot of our vehicles around here. He helps us out on our church vehicles here. Isn't that awesome? I could just name a ton of people that serve, but there's so many areas that we can serve in. I will serve. We're going to grow stronger through acts of service. When was the last time you actually prayed about the area that God would have you serve in? You know that right now, we need a host of workers on Sunday morning in our children's church program. Love the way everybody's raising their hand. We need a host of workers on our Wednesday night children's program as well. So I can't believe he's going to ask for more hands again. But you know what? We're growing for service. I thank God for our children. Today, I'll tell you, this church this church owes Ed and Elaine Rifle heartfelt heart of gratitude for what they do for this church. This morning, I'm sitting right down here in the front, and Ed and Elaine, they bring many children in on the van to Sunday school on Sunday morning. Now, you were rejoicing when Sean said they were able to lead 12 of our kids to the Lord just over the last few weeks, and we thought, man, that's awesome. But you know where a lot of those kids came from? From unchurched homes, from homes that were maybe a little difficult homes, or they were unchurched kids, and Elaine took it upon themselves. They go out and they bring these kids in on Sunday morning. This morning, I'll tell them, Ed, he's over here, and there's 3 or 4 kids right behind me there. Most of them, we just worshiping God. Ed's trying to just keep these kids corralled. Ed's just praying, oh God, let the worship service get over. Let these kids get the kids. I saw it. I heard it. They were right behind me. That little kid under the bench, he kept kicking my leg. I was at worship. That one was kicking me this morning. And Ed's over there. I heard Ed tell that one little guy, just say it. Just say it. us up there. And on Wednesday night, you can help us up there because God's going to, we're going to get more of those coming. Hallelujah. Hey, Jesus gave us serve. Because those kids are going to grow up and they're going to get to end up going to the fusion group and they're going to start using their talents. They're going to go to fine arts and God's going to bless them and God's going to honor them. Then they're going to grow up in the church and they're going to start serving in the church. Hallelujah. It starts when they were kids. Nathan Rogers, I got to quit. Oh man, it's so hard to quit. Nathan Rogers, I remember. Well, the kids hate these kind of stories. They say, oh, I remember when you so little baby. I remember dedicating Nathan Rogers. Up here on the platform, he was just a little baby. Troy and Sheila up there, and we held Nathan, we dedicated Nathan to the Lord. You know. But you know what? Nathan believes that God is going to use him to be a godly teacher. He's going to be a school teacher one day. He will be a great school teacher. He will influence. He will have at his hand, if the Lord lays his gun, Nathan Rogers will have in his hand students like crazy that he can influence for the glory of God. But you know where he got his touch of God? Growing up in church, being around godly people, being around some godly influences. That's why we reach out to kids. Because there might be some more Nathan Rogers in this place. There might be some more. God knows we need godly politicians. We might be raising up some politicians in here. We might be raising up some more missionaries in here. Who would have known? How many years ago, Devin? 24 years ago you came to the church? 24 years ago. He must have only been about 1 or 2 then. Say. Who would have known 24 years ago that somebody used to come to this church as a kid? Now he's going to India. Now I'm sure Devin probably never made his Sunday school teachers pull their hair out. You better move along. Now he's going to India. Somebody stepped up to the plate and said, I will serve. Somebody stepped up to the plate and said, hey, I'm loving somebody. That's all we're trying to get you to do is love people, to serve. Invite people to your home. Get to know people you don't know. Build some connections. Make some friendships you don't know. And God is going to do incredible things to his body. I believe that. It's a new season for us. We're going to change the direction of our preaching the next week or so. We'll be back preaching some of our normal Sunday morning message, but I want to challenge this church. Before we started that, God is getting ready to make some changes in this church. It starts with all of us. I will worship. Many of you made that commitment. Many of you made the commitment and said, I will be a kingdom builder. Many of you made the commitment this year and said, I will be a tither this year. Others made the commitment and say, I will honor you with my life this year. Others have made the commitment and say, Lord, I will serve you this year. We could revolutionize the way we do children's ministries in this church. If we just had a dozen more workers, we could revolutionize it. If anybody needs to have top notch, it needs to be the church. If anybody needs to be top notch, it needs to be the church. Woo! Hallelujah. Well, it would appear that I'm losing people, so I'm going to quit. How many would give up? One Sunday a month, or one Wednesday night a month to work with kids? I wonder. Would you do that? Would you serve? Next Sunday, I plan, unless the Lord changes our map, I plan, would you just go back to our evangelism message on Sunday morning? Well, I want to make this church, make sure that we're going to be a church on serve. Because I'm confident of this, that God is not going to send us new lambs into this place until we learn to love the sheep that are already here. We've been going after lambs for a long time. That's since we got it backwards. You gotta get people serving one another, serving, being the church I want you to be. You need to step up the level of worship and do all those things before I send the new lambs in. Once we start loving the sheep we already have, God will send the new lambs in. Thank God the lambs have been coming. I need some help. Gail and I bet come back here real quick and give them a pencil and paper. And we're close. I promise. I can do this in less than 5 minutes. If you will help me. You ready to serve? Ready to serve?